Bonjour, everyone. I hope you are all doing most well as we fall into fall. Here we are, we're at the Fab 50s. We've got an old Life magazine cover, and it's about magic mushrooms. This is really kind of an early, shall we say, MK Ultra for everybody. May 13th, 1957. Magic mushrooms. And under it, I really loved the penultimate article, Teenage Allowances. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting little cross there, isn't that? You've got your strange visions, and you've got your teenage allowances. And then you've got this guy who's like something totally other, and yet it just fits, doesn't it? It just fits. And let's go to, here he is. There is the man who went down and made those magic mushrooms famous. And he was actually, his 9-to-5 job was as a PR person for J.P. Morgan, that is Wasson. And here's the one who really knew everything, Maria Sabina, who was a mushroom expert in Oaxaca. And she said that after he left, the mushrooms would only speak English. She very much, she regretted having him down there. Psychosis and psychedelics. Schizophrenia. We've got a little bit of stuff going on there. We've also got Sidney Gottlieb, and he was called it's kind of interesting, he was called the poisoner in control. That was his name. Did I lose his article? Because he was called the poisoner in control. And he was basically like they said, the poisoner in control. I gotta find that article. Sorry, I bring up other stuff and then other stuff comes down. This is an Evergreen famous guy, right? You got your Paul Stamets here, with a foreword by Andrew Weil. That's before he was a doctor, huh? Dr. Andrew Weil, who was the, what do they call that? The surgeon? The Surgeon General for a bit. And here we've got Jolly West again, everyone. Oops, that was Florida, sorry. That was the wrong place. So here we've got the time the CIA tested hallucinogenic mushrooms, right? And our big guy from the Evergreen State College, the magic mushroom guy, all right? And so we've got a lot of that going on. We've got some really strange things, right? And let's see, where do they have Poisoner in Chief? His search for mind control. So I'm sure that he must have had some kind of interaction with, and I could not find, but I know Micklejohn and Jolly West, they were both little academic people. So sorry about that. I had that other article all up. Oops, there he is with John F. Kennedy. All right. That's kind of teeny right there. Can you see that? Wow. Now, weirdly, oh, okay. They also called him the Black Sorcerer Scientist. So he had a few different names. Now down here, I was interested in showing you a little bit of what I kind of flipped through the whole thing today of this book. And, it's interesting because he's basically saying less people are kind of going to college. And, he wrote this, right? The college came about in the 60s. And he's saying it's hard to even let people know what is, I guess there's a Netflix thing about Gottlieb. Gotta see that. I don't have Netflix. I'm sort of weird that way. So here is something where he's quoting Professor Richard Mitchell, who says, "The poor and uneducated are a reactionary's dream." You know what? Life magazine really went all out, didn't they, when it came to the LSD stuff? I mean, they had that one in 57. Here they are. They're kind of just like glamorizing this thing. They've also got the they've also got this one. And they've got like a ton of just inside the magazine, sort of wild pics. That one's like the New Yorker. But we've just got a lot of, there you go, there's your little Berkeley LSD art scene. So Life magazine really kind of showing us the whole, there we go, Tom Wolfe, the whole electric Kool-Aid acid test stuff. Big time. Okay, so the poor and uneducated are a reactionary's dream, an utterly stable segment of society. Every year without fail, they will consume junk, right? They'll get busted, they'll keep the courts going. It's just kind of a long litany of, they'll buy, cheap garbage, they'll buy, he just really kind of goes into very flowery discussion about the poor. And, then he says, when we look at them, we are inclined to think something has failed. That is a naive conclusion. Indeed, something has succeeded. All right. And then, and I'm putting this down here because I don't even want to say it, Mitchell is referring mainly to the, and that was weird because when I was reading it, when they were talking about the tacky poor, I was thinking of like, white trash kind of trailer park stuff, whatever, that we always hear about. So here he's talking about the, and kind of how do you get them to want to be better, So there is something like slightly, I would think I can maybe see now why this isn't a book that is like widely available in the bookstore now, and there's only one copy of one sort of strange kind of printing. It seems like every printing of this was quite different. Once again, it's written by the naval psychologist. So, and then he's saying, well, it's a hard sell because you want them to go, you want them to be better, you want to teach them. He is saying great books, that the best thing, and I guess that Meiklejohn guy was really big into great books, and that the best way you could elevate people. And then they were kind of getting a little blowback at Berkeley saying, no, great books are racist or whatever. And this guy's saying, no, great books are what get people, there's a little LSD person there. Great books are what get people, they are the most elevated thing in society. So I wonder if Evergreen is at all still with this thing of great books. In it he was saying nobody knows this, that was the sort of, I know St. John's in New Mexico. There's the other one, but the New Mexico one was like a great books college, right there, discusses great books. It doesn't seem like it's part of this kind of wild and crazy, let's get all mushroomy kind of school, but who knows? So, yeah, so this is kind of interesting how they're targeting. And then I love how in the same statement, he's talking about, elitism. And the word elitism is just all through the book. There's definitely the us and them. There's us, who knows everything. And then there's, them, right? And how do we talk them into going to a school that has zero chance of getting them more money in the world, more status or anything? They're just going to go, they're going to pay a huge amount in student loans, which he doesn't talk about. He does talk about that community colleges were closing left and right because they originally came into existence because people felt that the AA degree would get people into certain jobs that were coming about, and none of those jobs, that never was a reality. That was not a reality at all. So I find that kind of fascinating. So here he's talking about how do we do this sell, and we've got to do this sell for ourselves because as a professor, he even says this in here, we get paid double the money and we do half the work. So part of the reason these things are going is so that these psychiatrists can just keep their fun little experiments going. They're almost like serial killers or something. They just, they've got this fun thing and they got to keep it in business. They got to keep the business going. So there you go. And we will continue with this. But wow, that's perfect. That is utterly perfect. And we just, again, yeah, that guy looks like the guy that wrote the book, huh? He's like the cat that ate the canary.